The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam by Simon R Gladdish and Robert Graves, read by Simon R Gladdish. While dawn day's herald straddling the sky offers the drowsy world a toast to wine, the sun spills early gold on city roofs, day's regal host replenishing his jug divine. Then shouts ring out among us at the tavern, rise to, you good-for-nothing lazy lad. We refill our empty bowls with today's measure before the measure of our lives be had. Loud crows the cock for his dawn, drink my sake. Here stand we in the vintner's row, my sake. Is this an hour for prayer? Silence, my sake. Defy all custom, drink your fill, my sake. Rarest of lads, rising to meet the dawn, favour my bowl of crystal, poor red wine. This moment filched from the grey corpse of night, we long may sigh for, never reassign. Now that our world finds riches within reach, live hearts awake and hanker for wide plains, where every bough is blanched by Moses' hand and every breeze perfumed by Jesus' pains. A glorious morning, neither hot nor dank, with cheeks of roses newly bathed in dew, the nightingale in Pahlavi prescribes, for every sallower cheek, wine for the crew. Most guiltily each morning I determine, from wine in bowl or goblet to abstain. But this is Rhoda's time, Lord, why should I blush so soon from my repentance to refrain? Life passes, what is Balkh, what is Baghdad? The cup filled, shall we care whether with sweet or bitter? Drink on, know that long after us the moon must keep her long appointed beat. Rest in the rosy shade, though winds have burst, the world of blossom petals fall to dust. Jamshed and Husros by the 100,000 lie covered by a similar coat of rust. One ample draught outdoes the fame of Kawus, Kobad the glorious or imperial Tus. Friend, never bow your neck even to Rustum, nor summon Hatim tie with useless fuss. Should our day's portion be one wheaten loaf, a haunch of mutton and a gourd of wine, set for us two alone on the wide plain, no sultan's bounty could be half as fine. A gourd of red wine and a sheaf of poems, a bare subsistence, half a loaf, not more, supplied us two alone in the free desert. A sultan's life, in contrast, is a chore. They say that Eden is bejewelled with houris. I answer that great nectar has no price. So laugh at long-term credit, stick to coin, when though distant drums beguile your sacrifice. The rose cried, I am generous of largesse, and laughter, laughingly my petals blow across the world. The ribbons of my purse snap, and its load of coins flies high and low. Before fate springs her ambush for your life, command our tavern lad to fetch you drink. Fool, your dry corpse will be no treasure trove, as into the soft sand it starts to sink. Think of this world as modelled at your whim, perfectly trimmed for you from east to west. You know yourself a snowdrift on the sand, heat for a pair of days or three at best. This ruined caravanserai called earth, stable of day with night, a piebald steed, form a pavilion of 100 jamshids, at 100 Bahrams one time place to feed. A palace gorged in by gigantic Bahram, the vixen whelps there and the lion nods. Bahram, who hunted none but the wild ass, lies tumbled in a pitfall underneath earth's sods. Each rose or tulip bed that you encounter is sure to mark a king's last resting place, while scented violets rising from black soil record the burial of some lovely face. Green cresses also masking a stream's bank start up from creatures of angelic kind, tread softly on such evidence of beauty. Red lips and rosy cheeks lie slumbering behind. Never anticipate tomorrow's sorrow, live always in this paradise all now, fated however soon to house instead with others gone 7,000 years ago. My tavern comrades vanish one by one, innocent victims of death's furtive stroke. All had been honest drinkers, but all failed. 2 rounds before the last their goblets broke. Rise up, why mourn this transient world of men? Pass your whole life in gratitude and joy. Had humankind been freed from womb and tomb? When would your turn have come, my lively boy? Allow no shadow of regret to cloud you, no absurd grief to overcast your days. Never renounce love songs or lawns or kisses, until your clay lies mixed with older clays. Some ponder long on doctrine and belief, some teeter between certitude and doubt. Suddenly out of hiding leaps the guide. With fools the way is neither in nor out. Most of them gone before we go, my sake. Drowse in their dusty bed of pride, my sake. Drink yet again and hear no more malarkey. Whatever words they spoke were wind, my sake. Yet those who proved most perfect of our kind mounted the soaring burak of their thoughts. Study your essence like the firmament, your head will turn and turn to various ports. In childhood once we crouched before our teacher, growing content in time with what he taught. How does the story end? What happened to us? We came like water and like wind were caught. When falcon-like I darted from my world of mystery, upward and onward flying, no sage stood there to greet me with the truth, so I reversed to obviate more lying. Man's brain has never solved the eternal why, nor foraged past the frontier thought has set. All intellect, be sure, proves nugatory, however hard we try not to forget. In agitation I was brought to birth, and learned nothing from my life but wonder. Reluctantly we leave, still uninformed, why in the world we came, or went, or were. My presence here has been no choice of mine. Fate hounds me most unwillingly astray. Rise, wrap a cloth about your loins, my Saki, and swill the misery of this world away. Were the choice mine to come, should I have come, or to become, what might I have become? What better fortune could I then have chanced upon than not to be, become, or even come? Earth's perigee to Saturn's apogee, I have unveiled all astral mysteries, breaking the barriers of deceit and fraud, leaping all obstacles but fate's decrees. Not you nor I can learn the inmost secret. The eternal cipher proves too hard to break. Behind God's curtain voices babble about us, but then it parts both of us to forsake. Greenly to the bowl my lips I pressed, and asked how might I soothe the green old age. Pressing its lips to mine, it muttered darkly, drink up, once gone you must depart the stage. This jug was ages past, a doleful lover, like me, who had pursued a dream like me. The handle at its neck was once an arm, entwined about some waist so lovingly. Yesterday in the market stood a potter, pounding relentlessly his batch of clay. My inner ear could hear its sigh and groan. Brother, I was like you, treat me gently, pray. In the potter's workroom, shadowed by the wheel, I pondered, watching how the master made handles and covers for his jugs and pitchers, from hands of kings, from beggars' feet inclayed. I wandered further down the potter's road. Continuously they tried on clay new skills, yet some devoid of vision never noted the ancestral dust on all the turning wheels. Each drop of wine that Saki negligently spills on the ground may quench the fires of grief in some sore heart. All praise to him who offers such medicine as a melancholy relief. Raise the bowl high like tulip kips at Nauros, and if the moon-faced one has time to spare, drink gloriously deep, for brutal time will strike you down with never a warning stare. Avoid all greed and envy unperturbed by permutations, foul succeeding fair. Soon the whole scene must vanish past recourse. Possess your bowl, play with your loved one's hair. Khayyam, should you be drunk with love, rejoice, or bedded with your heart's delight, rejoice. Your end is no more than the whole world's end. Imagine you're no longer there by choice. Oppose all resurrections of your past. Resent no anguish still prepared for you. Dwell lightly on your entrance and your exit. Drink, never cast your essence to the dew. This vast, unmeasured, universal vault offers one bowl for all mankind to drink. When your turn comes, refrain from tears, be merry. Lift high the bowl, then drain it from the brink. Dear love, when you are free to slough your skin and become naked spirits soaring far across God's imperium, you will blush that you lay cramped so long in body's jar. Khayyam, your mortal carcass is a tent, your soul a sultan, and all time your camp. The groom called fate maps out tomorrow's march and strikes the tent where sultan-like you stand. Khayyam, though this blue-stained royal pavilion, its golden guy ropes against entry tightens up, a deathless Saki draws Khayyams in thousands, like wine bubbles rising from creation's cup. This world must long survive our poor departure, persisting without name or note of us. Before we came, it never grudged our absence. When we have gone, how can it feel the loss?
Oh, you have to stop now.
Why?
Because we've run out of space.
Have we?
Yeah, it's just giving me the message. Okay, you came along to that. You've had 8 minutes, right? So, well, because that's the storage. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll tell you what else we forgot to do. Actually, you read really well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because once you got warmed up, you were really good. Mm-hmm. Completely forgot. That we probably need, we could do that now actually on the other phone. We could, you need a little introduction about how you came, right, to rhyme each stanza yourself. People don't know that. And your book, it says the Rubaiyat, and then underneath it says Simon R Gladdish. All the experts that are on YouTube will come on and just slam it and give all the thumbs down.
No, I said it's by Robert Graves. I said that.
Yeah, I know you did, but what you didn't say was, after that, I thought you were going to say it actually, you know, that you yourself had, you know, decided to improve it or whatever you like to say by just mention that you had rhymed each stanza yourself. Else they're not going to know the difference, if you see what I mean.
You can put that in. You put that on the video. Right, sorry, stop now, yeah?
Yeah.
That might be enough, actually.
Do you think so? Shall
Well,
I just play it back and see how it is?
It might encourage them to get the book. It's if I give them the whole thing.
There's no need to get the book.
There's no need to get the book, is there? So read that back. See how that sounds.
Let me see. Okay.